Sentinels played in the longest map in VCT America's history with their 3-1 win over MIBR in this 21-19 game in favor of MIBR, and this game had some moments in it that were making me go crazy.
Out of Zelsis, they finally get the spike down.
MIBR are on the precipice. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over.
Somehow that second bullet through the masonry. Don't ask me how it hit.
It's not planning for them.
Sen have to get onto this side proper though.
It's not planning for them.
Oh my god, Osboss is trying to rotate.
Where the f is that? Let's go! What?
You're too late! It's all gone wrong for MIBR! And Sen again have even the game! We're going to round 37!
What a absolute disaster, tragedy at the end. MIBR haven't gotten a better chance than that.
But no, we're not going to focus on Aspas running away in an overtime round. We're going to focus on Sentinel's defense side, because here's the thing. Sen were 9-3 up. They were cruising in this game, and then their defense side just went to pieces. And some of these rounds I'm about to show you, I just don't make any sense. So let us begin here with the bonus round. The score is currently 9-5. Sen still in a good spot. They win this round, they probably win the map. But MIBR here, they do have a pretty good bonus. You know, they are forcing in some instances as well. But let's just take a look at what Sen do, right? So the first thing here that we have to talk about is what goes on over towards A main, because we start with a KO knife coming out here in A main, and it looks like, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like 3 people get suppressed here. Now, this is a thing that happened quite often. Now, I'm not sure if Narrate fully does get hit by it, but either way, 2 or 3 players get suppressed. And this happened a lot, right? Almost as if it was intentional. That Bang and John QT were almost intentionally getting hit by this KO knife, and then instantly kind of retreating as you see that they are now, right? We do put a smoke here. We put a Fade Horn out here. If that did suppress 3 people... Because, again, this did happen in a lot of rounds where it was like, oh, it looks like they're almost intentionally getting hit by that knife to kind of dissuade them from coming towards A main. The thing is, if that did hit 3 people, 3 people getting hit by a KO knife is never a good idea, because, you know, the other team is just going to go to the other side of the map and start taking space, which they do, right? So if that, you know, was intentional for 3 players to get hit by it, not great. Not a great plan. And if 3 people did get hit by it, that's just not very good in general, right? So what that allows MIBR to do is instantly, you know, react and take a lot of space in mid, because they know that, you know, people were in A main. The thing is that we're going to mainly talk about in this video, as we get a little bit of contact here between Narrate and Aspas, is just take a look at the map, right? So we're at 1:16. We are 25 seconds into a round, and Sentinels are pretty much passive everywhere, right? Bang is watching nothing, right? These 2 are in spawn. We're pretty passive here on, you know, already deep on the site as well. And Zekan, I guess, is the one player you could say is actually kind of, you know, watching something that is still pretty far away from the site. And get used to this, okay? Get used to there being literally 1 guy in Zekan being in a somewhat normal position for the time of the round, and everyone else just sitting as passive as possibly could be, right? And so what that means is that MIBR obviously have a lot of space to take. Right, as you can see, Aspas, we're just walking all the way up. Hey, we're pretty close to site. Hey, we're just walking into art on our own here for our scene, right? Like, we're just walking wherever we want to go. We have so many options available to us now, and only 1 guy is in a position to really punish anything, right? As long as we don't hit Zekan, everyone else is super passive. I mean, look, we are just in spawn, right? We're not even to the barriers. We are in spawn. Right, so that means that MIBR can essentially do whatever they want, and as long as they do a split, right, it means that if we get the spike down, they've taken so much space. Sentinels would have to then reclaim, you know, so much space. There are so many positions that MIBR could be in that it's going to be really, really hard for them, and yeah, they end up losing these rounds because they don't know where to go.
It's vacant. They could just go for a full execute here and let Osboss backstab.
Elsewhere though, might have to wait. Bang here, copped. Oh, bang! Oh, that's a gun. Cheaply lost here for Sentinels. Taking their time, but
30 seconds left.
That null command is now active.
Now, what is the plan? That null command is selling for MIBR that they're trying to get into A. They're pivoting back. We have 20 seconds left. Okay, Osboss, he needed that kill and he finds it.
Tekken was not ready for it. Completely caught off guard. Intricate rotations here for MIBR. And in the dying seconds of the round, they are going to have this plant.
It's dangerous to let the clock...
So yeah, the inevitable happens. Bang, you know, maybe gets a bit unlucky, dying to a spam kill just there. But as soon as Bang dies, the round's over. The round, MIBR can now in this position, they can... any choice they make is a good one because of where Sen are on the map. Right? Literally, they could go to A if they wanted to and plant the spike and have a bunch of control, and Sen would, you know, be in a lot of trouble and probably not be able to win that retake. Or they could do what they do, which is pivot back to Aspas, find a free kill, you know, as he's lurking up, because Sen have no idea what's going on in the map, and then plant on the B site instead, right? And find multiple kills, you know, one on the A site over here from Odzine in this fight, one over here from Aspas pretty much at the same time, and Sen just go and save. So that was the bonus round, and we took a timeout, and that gave me some hope for Sentinels that, oh, you know, that was a bad round, but they're taking a timeout, they're gonna fix it. They did not fix it. Because let's talk about the very next gun round, round number 17. And Sen's setup here from the start of the round doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what this setup is trying to do. I honestly could not tell you what the theory behind this is, because Zellsis is going to put his wall here in sewer, right? This is his vice wall. It's in sewer. Now, whilst that's kind of cool, and, you know, like, oh, hey, you know, this wall goes up and then, you know, they're crouched and maybe we can get like a tail kill off that. That's cool. Like, okay, I can somewhat get that. But the rest of the setup with this doesn't make any sense, right? If you're putting your wall here, you best be pushing one of these, right? You best be taking hard control of like a B main or A main. And Narrate's position here doesn't make sense with that wall at all. Right, let's just watch, and this is actually a round that Sen win, right? It's a round that MIBR failed to punish them. But again, you see kind of the KO knife coming out here, you know, being like a bit of a nuisance. Actually, Aspas is going to find the first kill here in just a second on Zekken as he's kind of jump peeking out. See that Aspas is going to get this kill just there. But like, look at where Narrate is. Like, where he is with this vice wall doesn't make any sense. And instantly, by the way, again, as soon as we got hit by this KO knife, these two are just retreating. You know, these two are just, again, just way back, right? Well, you've got your vice wall here. So, like, Narrate's position doesn't make any sense because he's having to, like, watch kind of both sides of mid here, and this vice wall is doing him nothing, and so he doesn't know where to be. So eventually he just kind of has to retreat and, again, just end up in spawn. And now, again, just look at the map now. We're at 117 in the round. MIBR have the whole map. They can go wherever they want to. And this, again, is one of the rare rounds where MIBR kind of seem a bit indecisive and they don't actually... It's almost like they have so many options they don't know which one to pick, end up wasting a lot of time, and end up losing as they try to go towards A. But again, you see, like, I just don't know what some of this idea was, just to be so passive. Now, of course, we do have a lot of rounds to look at in this one, so let's skip ahead a bit here to round number 24. And I just want you to watch the start of this round until we get to the first kill, and you tell me if this looks like a normal game of Pro Valorant.
Sidesteps the Prowler that was sent out from Narrate.
I think Connector is one of the most important parts of the map here, as well as that art hold.
Sen are trying to use a lot of this information gathering util from their initiators just to try and stabilize at this moment, because there's been that heavy MIBR pressure towards A main. Oh, this timing.
Ships in the night. Second, is he on this
Line adequately! He can't get away! A mortal blow already struck to Sen, who are digging their claws in. John here trying to keep it low.
Oh yeah, this is where the game should have ended 100%, because again, Sentinels and their setup, I mean, at least this time they have done like a normal vice wall, I guess, that might actually grant them some value in a decent amount of rounds. But Zelsis pretty much every round is just jump peeking this. That is pretty much what he does in almost all of these rounds. And so by this point, MIBR know, like, if I put one smoke here, this is all free. As soon as I just put one smoke so that he can't see, everything else is just free, right? And they can probably maybe even hear him jump spotting this, right? It's possible that they can. And so, like, you're going to see, like, because again, Narrate's job becomes impossible here, right? So it's, again, it's a nice plan by MIBR, but I mean, this is off the back of one smoke. We just put one smoke down and it grants us a free kill. How is that the case? How can that be the case, right? Because again, as soon as the smoke comes in, Narrate's now like, oh, well, they could be walking up here, so I now need to retreat, right? So we've just done one smoke, a very simple smoke that almost every team will do on Pearl, and it completely shuts down Sen and their setup, right? Where these two aren't on the same page. John, again, well, the problem is, and this was the problem for so many rounds, is essentially we've got multiple players just watching nothing, right? Like Zekken is already opping this angle, so I don't know. We're basically playing players down, essentially, in terms of info, you know, gathering for the defense side here. And that happens. And it's just like, what on earth is going on? And again, the game should have ended here, right? Because again, MIBR, you know, I mean, it's free for them. You know, they walk in, they get a free kill. They're then going to win the second fight. It's a 3v5. And really, the only reason that Sen kept making this a game and kept, you know, being able to survive in this game was exactly what happens here, which is we're in a bad situation. We'll just completely hero play our way out of it and get away with it.
Artazine strides out onto the site. Brimming with braggadocio.
Still for John, if he can get one here, he could get the Armageddon active to drag Sen into overtime. He has to find a kill.
Bought a little bit of time, John has, and now the Cosmic Divide comes down. The shielding furrows the brow of MIBR. They're down to 2. It's Nozwa and Shannon. Bangs has found Aspas out of God knows where. And now they need to challenge this wall into what looks like a crossfire. Everything hangs on this moment here for Sen if they want to stay in this map. Nozwa unsure where to set himself up. That wall's about to come down, but the nebula will obscure his vision.
And they have to deal with Shadow Stars still late right now trying to defuse. Recon for Nozwa too.
It's got to be tough. They still haven't really got a touch in there, Shannon. Okay, the Astra's down. The Stars now no longer an issue. Nozwa has to step up and do it himself. Zelsus halves it. And the rest. John keeps him busy. John shuts him down.
Yeah, so now let's skip ahead to some of the overtime rounds. Let's come to round number 30. And again, just looking at a Sentinel setup that makes absolutely no sense. Because, again, if we take a look at this, these two, again, are going to get hit by this KO knife here and then instantly retreat, right? And I said about Zekken being the only one who was, like, really challenging any space. And you can see that here as well. This already, right? This between these three, the 3 players on A, what are we doing? It makes absolutely no sense, right? I mean, just look at what happens here. Just watch this. Just watch this. Look at how bad this is. Look at how bad that is. Whilst we've got 2 players, so we got one guy, and he's a very good player, but he's completely on his own. And you've got 2 people just sitting here doing nothing. Why is he on his own here? No help. And you 2 are just sitting back here doing nothing. And I'm not saying it's these 2 well, I mean, I am kind of saying it's these 2 fault because you shouldn't be this passive, you know, 15 seconds into a round. You know, we shouldn't be in spawn 15 seconds into a round. But you know, if the call is, if our plan is, hey, we're just going to be the most passive team in the world and rely on hero plays over and over, then I guess Zekken is making a mistake by trying to challenge some space, I guess. But how can this happen? How can you have 2 people essentially watching nothing and have one guy challenging on his own here? Right? What, like, when you get suppressed, why not just run back here? Like, one of you, why doesn't a Fade just come and help Zekken here? It doesn't make any sense. It literally makes no sense. And again, this is a round that Sen are going to win. After that horrendous display. Again, they're going to manage to win this round. Again, completely due to just heroic plays that, you know, you shouldn't be able to make consistently.
Sees, catches no one. Nozwa steps up, gives it a tap, and bang, trying to stay safe while getting some spray here. More Astra util. Nozwa though is able to... No, he doesn't stick it. Okay, there still needs to be a plant here at some point. Zelsus now activates, spraying it down. Where's the plant coming from? It's Artazine. Taps it again, but it's Cortesia falling. How have they done it again?
Look, I know some of the more diehard Sen fans are going to say in the comments, well, in that round, Sen were playing to, you know, their comp and their win condition, you know, plant denial, you know, buy time, you know, Celsius comes across, gets those kills, you know, it's all great. Well, sure, fine. Say whatever you want about that. But let's take a look at round 34, because we're going to see almost the exact same thing happen, where Zekken is going to end up completely on his own here. You know, just in a 1v1. Again, he's going to lose that 1v1. And then you're going to see what can happen when you decide to play this passive across the map, right? Because again, we got Zekken here. Everyone else is kind of chilling, right? Okay, this is somewhat, you know, normal from Zelsus to jump peek this. You know, so I'll give him some grace as well. But the other 3, we're in spawn, right? We're not even up to the barriers. And so when Zekken gets, you know, somewhat revealed there that he's there with the drone, he dies to Artazine. And now let's just watch this round play out, right? Because this is the round where they can't just hero play their way out of it, because MIBR realize, hey, these guys aren't challenging anything, right? So if we just watch the map, we got a lurk up here come in from B. They send some pressure to A. We get the lurk up here on B, and they know that this is going to be free, right? So we lurk all the way up, right? Not only did we lurk all the way up on B, we lurk all the way up into sewer, right? How have you lost this much space? How is it possible? Even though when you're man down, right? Well, it's because we're playing with 2 people in spawn every round. That's why. And if Cortesia, you know, I mean, this should be at least 1 free kill, right? Somehow it's not. He definitely should win that fight and get a free kill there, but it's okay because we've already looked all the way up on B, so get a free kill here instead, right? And now we're just going to win the round.
Turns off that utility that was in the site as well. 4 versus 3. Can this be their first attack round? They still need to get into the site. Eric gets one. The time is so low.
No plant yet. Running out of time at MIBR, but they do get the stick. It's now or never. Sentinels trying to book their ticket to Masters Bangkok. And MIBR digging their heels in with their last ditch to take us to more overtime. Aspas will wait. Here's Artazine holding his ground, and they've done it!
And eventually Sentinels wouldn't be able to completely hero play their way out of it and would lose that map. Now, of course, they would go on to win the other maps, which again, it is why it was so strange they were so passive, because in pretty much every other half of the game, they dominated, right? They dominated the attack side of Pearl. They dominated the other 3 maps as well. So it just stuck out like a sore thumb of like, what on earth is going on? Now, they did play another game of Pearl, of course, in their game against G2. And I would say on the whole, they actually weren't as passive in this game. But they were playing against a better team who, you know, weren't losing or weren't getting, you know, hero played on nearly as much. And you can see that it went pretty bad for Sen. And they definitely need to look at this defensive side. And we are just going to take a look at one round from that G2 game, because it's probably the worst of all of them. So yeah, let's take a look at this round. It's round number 17 in this G2 game. And of course, G2 know that Sen have been pretty passive in mid, right? So they know that they can approach mid with some pace, right? Like they do here. And they do, you know, go through their usual util, you know, flash, dart, smoke, all that kind of stuff. You know, all the usual stuff. But they get in here pretty quick. They're not going to run into the same problems that MIBR did a lot with the time. You know, they were going to do these mid splits with some pace, right? And you can see here, again, I mean, what? We are 15 seconds into the round. G2 have taken a bit of space on the map. And again, you look at the map, and we've got Zekken fighting up here alone, you know, with his DP to potentially get out. Spawn, on our way to spawn, watching nothing. 4 players, you know, 4 players, not even close to the barriers, right, where the barriers start. Again, for Sen, right? So again, we end up in this, you know, we're not trading space or anything like that. And again, G2, you know, are a better team than MIBR, so they didn't give them those chances to, you know, potentially let Sen hero play on them, right? And this is a really nice idea by G2, right? The Vice ult pushes him out into the op. Really, really good idea by G2. But now, I mean, again, you've given up all this space, right? So we've given up the space. We got Vice ulted, but that's no problem, right? That's no worry. It's 10. We're 10-6 down. The decision that Sentinels are about to make tells you pretty much everything about their Pearl defense side.
With the op, it's so good from G2.
A plant down on top of it.
Halls is about to get annihilated with Teho util.
And here it is. Salvos. You pushed G2 forwards, but they're backing away. They're saving.
They're saving 4v5 on B, allowing G2 to get up to 11 in that spot. I mean, we very rarely see big saves like this.